A weed is any plant that grows in an area where it doesn't belong. However, weeds can be very helpful in other ways. For example, you can use all kinds of weeds as free, natural fertilizer on any plant, anywhere. The first thing we should do is look at the simplest ways to use plants and weeds in the garden. Gather your weeds by hand or with a tool. Try to get rid of the whole weed plant with roots, cut them up into smaller pieces, and then let them fall back to the ground. This will help them break down and become part of the soil much more quickly by cutting them up into smaller pieces. For chopping and dropping, make sure you do it on a dry day so the weeds don't grow roots back into the ground right away. Also, don't cut any weeds that have ripe seeds on them because you don't want new weeds to grow everywhere, and don't include the roots of any creeping or perennial weeds. Remove the roots from the plants and dry them by placing them in the path of direct sunlight. You can now put them in different ways that we will talk about later in this video. The roots will die in a few weeks. The roots will be dead in a few weeks, and you can now use them in different ways that we will talk about later in the tutorial. The second way to use them is to put weeds in the compost pile, or bin. This is where many of my bigger weeds end up. Fresh green weeds are a great way to get nitrogen. As before, only add weeds that don't have seeds in them. Also, don't add the roots of perennial weeds unless your compost gets really hot and breaks them down. I think that the third way of using weeds is the best way to do it. We will make weed tea this way. To make weed tea, get a bunch of different kinds of fresh weeds and cut them up. Put the weeds that have been cut up into a bucket and press them down hard. Add enough rainwater to completely cover the weeds, and if you want to add good bacteria, you can mix in a handful of mature leaf mold or compost. Loosely cover the bucket with a lid so that gases can escape. Let the mixture steep for 1 to 2 weeks, stirring it every now and then. Once the tea is ready, mix it with water until it is 10 times its original strength. Then, use it to feed your plants. First, mix 10 parts water with 1 part weed tea to make it less strong. Then, use it as fertilizer. Make sure the diluted solution gets to the soil around the roots of your plants by applying it directly to the base of them. Just like always, you can use it to water your plants. During the growing season, do this process every 10 to 15 days to keep the plants getting nutrients and help them grow in a healthy way. If you know of any ways to get rid of weeds in the garden, please share them below. Watch the videos in the description for more recipes and detailed instructions on how to make your own fertilizers and sprays that are full of nutrients. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and look at our other videos for more gardening advice.